Hello, Loup Power District employees, retirees, family, and friends, and welcome to this month's edition of Canal Chronicles. As I sit here today and look out and see that it's almost 50 degrees, it's hard to imagine where we were about a week ago. On Monday, February 15th, NPPD implemented rolling blackouts throughout their territory because of instructions given to them by the Southwest Power Pool. These rolling blackouts also occurred on February 16th, and these affected the district. We had blackouts that lasted from about 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning through about 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. The Southwest Power Pool is a large pool that extends from northern Texas and includes Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, western Missouri, Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. And they are in charge of controlling the generation and the transmission in the footprint that they exist in. Due to extremely high loads, which were due to the extremely cold weather that existed throughout the footprint, and some issues with generation units, Southwest Power Pool called for rolling blackouts, which NPPD implemented to all of its wholesale customers and to its retail customers. This affected the district. Thankfully, the blackouts did not last more than about 45 to 60 minutes and were controlled to a fairly short period of time for the 4 hours on Tuesday and for about 2 hours on Monday. The Southwest Power Pool did this in order to protect the entire system. Without the rolling blackouts, they might have seen a catastrophic failure of the system similar to what occurred in Texas. The system worked the way it was supposed to, and we're happy that NPPD is a member of the Southwest Power Pool, as it has provided savings and benefits in many areas in the years since NPPD has been in the Southwest Power Pool and in the Southwest Power Pool integrated market, in which power is sold by all the entities in the Southwest Power Pool and then purchased by those same entities. More information can be found if you go to the Southwest Power Pool's website, www.spp.org, and you can look at additional information on what has occurred. Obviously, the blackout was a disappointment. We don't like to have blackouts, and there will be a lot of discussion as to what happened, why it happened, and what can be done in the future to prevent it from occurring again. We'll have a lot of discussions amongst ourselves, obviously with politicians at the local, state, and federal level. And there will be a lot of investigation as to what has gone on with renewable energy, what went on in the natural gas industry with regard to these rolling blackouts and the effect on energy markets, and the overall costs associated with the effect of the tremendous supply and demand that occurred during this period of time. Many of you have probably seen that there are customers in Texas who have seen electric bills upwards of $17,000 per customer. And that would be for a residential customer. These are unheard of in our times, and many legislatures throughout the country will be looking at the cause and effect of all of this. With regard to that, we talked at the board meeting today about the Monroe Powerhouse and what the district might do in the future with regard to the Monroe Powerhouse. As part of our hydro purchase power contract with NPPD, the district has the ability to make the Monroe Powerhouse a qualified local generation, similar to the Creston Ridge 1 and Creston Ridge 2 wind farms. District management provided an initial analysis based upon the year 2020 to the board regarding the benefits of making the Monroe Powerhouse part of the QLG. The district board asked many questions of district management and needs additional information before making this decision, and we will be working with NPPD to get additional information to supply the board. Obviously, having the Monroe Powerhouse as well as the Columbus Powerhouse locally owned and the ability to produce and generate that electricity here in our 4-county area provides benefits to us at Loup Power District. Having those units here and available in the long run protects the district to some degree as to what can happen in the case of issues on the system with regard to other generating facilities. It doesn't solve all the problems, and obviously the district is glad to be part of the whole NPPD system, which provides benefits throughout the entire course of a year. These discussions with the district's board regarding Monroe Powerhouse will continue throughout the year, and more information will be made available as we move forward. Management and the board had some discussions with regard to district water issues. There's been very little activity on the water side over the past month, with the exception of the district has finally been able to sit down with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission staff and begin discussions on the remediation efforts along the canal that may be implemented as part of trying to avoid having the things that caused the 2019 storm event and damage from that storm event to occur in the future. FERC was grateful that the district has provided some high-level design features associated with these remediation efforts and wants to continue the discussions. The district and our consultants, Olson Incorporated out of Lincoln, Nebraska, will continue to meet and have discussions regarding furthering these design efforts and presenting those to FERC to get comments. Hopefully, by sometime later on this summer or maybe early this fall, the district will have final design drawings ready and be ready to implement these remediation efforts along the canal, again, to basically keep excess water from flowing in the canal and flowing that water back to the Loup River where it belongs. We're unable to really say what that will mean from a cost perspective at this point in time, as we're still in the design phases and there's a long ways to go until FERC approves the final design of the district. During the month of February, the district provides checks to all of our cities, towns, and villages regarding the lease payments that are made to the district as part of the PRO agreements, the professional retail operations agreements, and franchises that the district has with each city. In addition, at the February board meeting, the board approved a new PRO agreement and franchise with the village of Tarnoff. With the approval of that agreement, the district now has agreements with almost every city, town, and village in the district's service territory. These new agreements provide the district with the guarantee that through 2040, the district will be the retail supplier for those towns, and the towns will get the benefit of a check every 3 months, as well as 11% payment underneath the lease agreement. We're excited about that, and it provides a lot of positives for the district and a lot of positives for our cities, towns, and villages. The district recently received a report from the American Public Power Association regarding utility operating ratios for the year 2019. The district compares very favorably to utilities of similar size and utilities in the north central United States area with regard to most operating ratios. As you're well aware, from a revenue per kilowatt hour standpoint, the district is over 10% below the Nebraska average and almost 25% below the national average. With regard to the other operating ratios included in the report, the district stands near the mean or median in most areas, especially given the fact that we serve 22 communities over a wide 4-county area, whereas most public power systems consist of a single community in one area. We get this report every year from APPA, and we see where the district at, and we use that as a benchmark to determine if there are areas that we should probably be doing better in. For the most part, the district is very, very productive, and you can see that our employees are doing a great job in providing the service to all of our communities, and that's reflected in the rates that we're able to charge to our communities and our customers. Vice President of Corporate Services, Todd Duran, presented an update on the legislative bills that are before the unicameral. There are a number of bills that are ongoing before the unicameral, which do affect the electric utility industry, including net metering, public power governance, broadband, and a variety of other issues, including a number of economic development issues. The district is monitoring these closely, and especially given the events that occurred last week with the cold weather and an additional legislative resolution implemented by the Natural Resources Subcommittee that wants to explore that, we will be providing testimony as necessary to the various committees where these bills sit in front of. There's been a lot of talk about the public power industry in the legislature and what we have done and the benefits that it's provided to all the consumers in Nebraska over the past several years. However, there is a lot of talk about the rolling blackouts that occurred last week and what that means in the long term. Obviously, we would like to provide all the information that's necessary for the unicameral and the legislature to make the right decisions moving forward as regards to public power. And we think the model that's in place is one that works very well for all of us. Management provided the board with the 2020 annual safety report. I'm pleased to report that the district had no lost time accidents and no vehicle accidents in 2020 and 6 reportable accidents during the 2020 year. These are very low compared to past years, and the no vehicle accidents hasn't occurred for almost 30 years. Obviously, the reduced miles that the district drove in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic played some effect on this, but having no vehicle accidents is a true testament to the concern that our employees put forward when they're driving their vehicles both around the district and outside of the district's territory. The no loss safety time accidents is a very important stat for us, and this is the second straight year that we've been able to go without that. As a matter of fact, it's been almost 2.5 years since our last lost time safety accident. We're proud of these facts, and we work very hard at the district to have safety meetings with our employees, to talk about the safety in our individual workplaces, and then to implement those safety factors that we need to prevent accidents from happening. We will continue to update you with regards to our safety record in the future, but we're proud to say this is the third time in the last 10 years that we've gone back-to-back years without a lost time safety accident. Financially, January started out fairly strong for the district. Even though we saw a reduction in revenue due to the warm weather that occurred in January, overall we saw a positive as we also did not purchase as much energy from the Nebraska Public Power District due to the lower usage that occurred. That leads us to a very strong position moving into February, and we will see exactly where we're at, where we finished 2020 at, as we will be reviewing the audit in the next month. Our auditors will be coming in March to provide our audit to the board of directors. Obviously, overall, we're still dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. The good news is that cases have gone way down in our 4-county area as well as nationwide, and we're starting to get a number of our employees vaccinated. Within the next number of weeks, we will probably have at least 50% of our employees vaccinated with their second shot as we move forward in the vaccine program established by the state of Nebraska. We're excited about this, and hopefully this means we are reaching a point in time when we can get back to normal operations, not only at the district, but with all of our employees and our customers as we move forward. It's been a long process. It's been a year since the COVID-19 pandemic really hit, and we're starting to finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, at least in my opinion. Hopefully you see that also, and we'll be able to meet again in person on a fairly regular basis and be able to see each other's faces. I happen to know that this weekend I was at the Omaha Henry Dorley Zoo, and somebody ran into me and called me by name, and I looked at them and just stared at them in the face because all I saw was their mask, and I could not actually put a name to a face with a mask in front of it. So hopefully we'll get to a point in time fairly quickly that we won't need to have the mask and we will be able to see each other face to face. One last thing that I'd like to remind everybody about is with the cold weather conditions that existed last week, usage throughout the district for February will be high. Your individual usage will be extremely high, which could mean to higher bills. Please work with us if you have concerns about your higher bills, and we'll look to see what we can do. We don't anticipate any rate increase as a result of the higher demand and the higher usage that occurred, but with the higher usage will come higher bills because they go hand in hand. High usage and high bills are what happens when you have a lot of usage, and obviously all of our heaters were running overtime in the past couple of weeks. Again, please call us, work with us, and we'll try to deal with you as best we can regarding your particular situation. With that, I hope you all have a great rest of your February, and as always, be happy and stay safe.